Built entirely with the rabbet joint, let's start this story from the beginning. I'm Andrew, and I'm a DIYer. I like challenging myself by learning new techniques, like tiling this silly shower. Well, now that this shower was done, I wanted to challenge myself on my next project. Finishing this cabinet build inside of this nook. Since I've been building cabinets, I've been using pocket hole screws, which really changed everything in terms of woodworking. But this time, I plan to switch it up and use rabbet joints instead. So let me show you how I've elevated my woodworking skills with the rabbet joint. Let's jump right into what even is a rabbet joint. I first discovered the rabbet joint when watching YouTube videos like I normally do. I saw that this was a woodworking joint that connects two pieces of wood at 90 degrees, but one of the pieces of wood has a notch in it, which helps with alignment. Well, I've been using this type of joint for drawer boxes and cabinet doors. Now it's time to start using them for the cabinet boxes themselves. I've got all my lumber picked out. Let's jump right into exploring this new type of woodworking joint for building cabinets. But first, some water. This unloading had me parched. That's much better. Well, just like any other method of cabinet building, I started with double checking all my measurements and then cutting my pieces of wood to the final size. I was eager to get through this step so I can see the pros of using these rabbets on the cabinets. Everything's cut to the perfect size now, and in previous cabinet builds, this is where I'd start making pocket holes, but we're here for the rabbets. For cutting these massive rabbets, I had two options, the dado stack on a table saw or a router on a router table. Well, dado blades would have worked, but man, they've been a pain in the past. Shoot, it doesn't fit. Yeah, we're going with the router. Plus, I already got my tabletop router set up on the table. The first benefit of using rabbets over pocket holes was it was a one-time setup on the router table. And it was also way faster. It had only been 8 minutes. I was super happy with the results. Everything came out really clean and consistent. Okay, up next, let's see the benefits of rabbets during box assembly. So for this stage, I still needed clamps. Lots of clamps, but at least not these finicky clamps for pocket holes. Oh yeah, and I'll need some wood glue. Wood glue is really what holds everything together. The nice thing about these rabbets is I had a perfect spot to add all of my wood glue and a perfect spot to set my other plywood piece. This is really nice. Everything just snapped into place. No playing with 90-degree pocket hole clamps, no adjusting and trying to get the edge flush, just an easy assembly process. I couldn't believe how fast this all happened. That was 30 minutes total. Now I just had to wait for the glue to dry, except I'm impatient. So let's add some wood screws to reinforce everything. And now I can get this cabinet in place. This all looked really good, and I was sold on these rabbets for cabinet assembly. This whole process happened so fast that I have plenty of time to show what else I'm going to use these rabbets for. But not before a quick treat, because it's been a long day. Let's build some drawer boxes. This is the second type of project that the rabbet joint unlocked for me. Now you do have to cut a groove also, but it's a close relative to the rabbet. Anyways, there is other methods of building drawers, but the rabbet joint creates a drawer that will be strong for a long time. No screws needed. It's the fact that the rabbet sits inside the groove and it makes it almost impossible to pull apart. I definitely find it to be stronger than when using screws to assemble. Plus, the fact that everything just snaps together like the cabinet boxes cuts down on so much time. That's 2/3 of the way there. Let's jump right into the final aspect of this build, the door fronts. For the door fronts, I'm creating shiplap style doors all made with rabbets. This is a simple method of two different sized rabbets that creates a gap between the joints, but it is completely reliant on the ability to cut rabbets. This is actually the easier method of making these style doors. I've learned this through trial and error, and by always trying to learn new things. Certain parts of this nook build I've done before, and certain parts I haven't. But the fact is, I would never have been able to complete this build unless I tried to learn new things like the rabbet joint. And now it's time to wrap this project up. This is one of my favorite projects so far because it really tested my skill set. I've used rabbets before, but never for actually building cabinets. When I first started DIYing, I never imagined I'd be able to build something like this. I had to start somewhere. I started small and then continued to build my skill set. I'll be back soon with more of our story.